Hi, I'm Megan Quinn. I'm a general partner at Spark Capital. Anytime an opportunity presents itself, a new job, a new responsibility within an existing job, even just someone wanting to get together to pick your brain over coffee or have a conversation, my bias is to engage and say yes. I just fundamentally believe that you can use any encounter to learn more. You can use any experience to learn more. By expanding your surface area to touch more people, only good things will happen. And so that's advice that I have taken and run with for the duration of my career and frankly my personal life as well, and is the advice that I would share. I think within venture capital, the thing that's actually overrated the most is venture capital itself. Venture capital is only one model and way of funding an entrepreneur and their new idea. You trade dollars for equity in a business, typically a high growth business in a very scalable category in a very big market. The majority of the businesses in the United States, and frankly for that matter in the world, are not that type of business. Unfortunately, I think at times, specifically within the geographic region of Silicon Valley, we tend to have the position that if you're holding a hammer, everything looks like a nail, that if you're a VC, every business looks like a VC type of company, when in fact a lot of entrepreneurs would be better served by raising different types of capital, perhaps even more traditional loans, than VC dollars themselves. The corollary to that is that VCs as individuals can tend to overstate or overthink their own contributions or value to a given company. VCs can provide capital and advice and introductions. They can serve on the board, but at the end of the day, VCs are a helpful enabler at best, and it's really the team that's behind the company that's making that dream come true. There is a deep irony that I have this personal belief in having a bias towards yes, and the fact that today I'm a venture capitalist where, frankly, my job 99% of the time, if not more than that, is to say no, is to not actually invest. And I think that that's what makes venture capital in general such a humbling profession. Entrepreneurs come in and they tell you this vision of the world that they absolutely believe will exist. And they're so confident that they have quit jobs and forgone large salaries and are spending time away from their families to do the impossible, to build that world that they think should be in existence. Having to then turn and also frankly know less about whatever field it is that they're building than they do and say, this is an interesting idea, you're a fantastic person, what a market, but it's not for us, is extremely humbling. And so that bias towards yes, but with a profession where I often have to say no, is certainly a point of tension. In terms of who has most influenced me, it's clearly my 4 sisters. I'm the middle of 5 girls, and my sisters do not work in technology. They work in education. One's a psychologist, one's an OBGYN, another's a lawyer. They couldn't be further from Silicon Valley in the tech industry, and yet they influence more of my work than probably they know. They are the everyday normals that I think of when evaluating an investment. They are my supporters, in many cases my biggest fans, but they are also extremely valuable sounding boards for me as an investor as well as, of course, a sister. The happiest moment in my life was actually not when I had my baby, who is now 5 months old. Her name is Maisie. She was born in October of 2018, but it was 3 nights later. The first couple of nights with a newborn as first-time parents are terrifying and stressful, and no one is sleeping and everyone's scared that everyone else is going to die. It wasn't until the 3rd night when I was settled back at home, we woke up, and it was the first time I can really recall feeling slightly rested, so more than an hour of consecutive sleep, having the baby be happy, and my husband not being a disaster as well. It felt like the first time as a family unit of 3, we were at some semblance of peace, never normalcy, but at least peace, and that was probably the happiest moment of my life. I've never really believed in the concept of work-life balance. The much better model for me today is a work-life blend. I think this is primarily driven by the advent and scale of mobile devices. When I am at the office, I get text photos from my nanny of my 5-month-old, calls from my husband, and will gladly take those and see those and receive those even though I'm technically in the office during daylight working hours. And at the same time, I go home at night and I get text messages from entrepreneurs I work with and Slack messages from my partners, and happily engage with those in the off hours. And so I don't ever believe really that you're going to have these finite periods of time each day that are specifically work or specifically life. I think at all times I am Megan, the mother, the wife, the friend, but also Megan, the general partner, board member, colleague, and that will continue to be a blend.